Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today we are talking Enola Holmes 2, and more specifically, we are talking about the new synopsis that came out, along with the fact that Henry Cavill's Sherlock might have a much bigger role in the sequel than what he had in the first movie. But before we get any deeper, guys, just remember that at least one of my videos every week will not be coming to the YouTube channel. It will only be coming to the BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble channels. So if you're watching this on YouTube, and you are not following me on one of those three platforms, the link to those three platforms are in the description down below. But anyway, guys, let's get right into this. Starting with the Enola Holmes 2 synopsis. Enola Holmes 2 synopsis teases new mystery for Millie Bobby Brown. Netflix reveals a synopsis for Enola Holmes 2, teasing a new mystery for Millie Bobby Brown's titular character and her brother Sherlock. The official synopsis for Enola Holmes 2 teases a new mystery for the titular character based on the first book in the best-selling series of the same name by Nancy Springer. The first Enola Holmes film released on Netflix in 2020 and quickly one of the streaming service's top 10 most-watched original movies, shifting the focus from the already famous Sherlock Holmes played by Henry Cavill to his equally brilliant and witty younger sister Enola, who is a newer creation. The film follows the Stranger Things star as she embarks on a thrilling adventure to find her missing mother, played by Helena Bonham Carter, which involves teaming up with a runaway lord, played by Louis Partridge. And I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, guys. I didn't entirely hate the first Enola Holmes movie. The biggest issue that I had with it is basically what they turned Mycroft into. You know, they basically used Mycroft as the embodiment of the patriarchy, and that's pretty much all they did with Mycroft. And honestly, I wouldn't have minded Henry Cavill in a standalone Sherlock Holmes movie, but hey, if he's gonna get a bigger role, hopefully it's all for the best. Since Enola Holmes was a hit on Netflix and there are currently 6 more books worth of source material in Springer's series to cover, a sequel seemed like a foregone conclusion. However, it wasn't until a year later that Enola Holmes 2 was officially announced, with original writer Jack Thorne and director Harry Bradbeer returning, Brown, Cavill, Bonham Carter, and Partridge all reprising their roles, while David Thewlis from Harry Potter and Wonder Woman and Sharon Duncan Brewster, Rogue One and Dune, have joined the cast as newcomers. Last month, it was announced the sequel had wrapped filming with a behind-the-scenes video of Brown and Partridge dancing on set. Now Netflix has unveiled the official synopsis for Enola Holmes' new adventure, per Collider, teasing what the sequel's new mystery might encompass. It reveals that Brown's titular character is now a detective for hire, following in the footsteps of her big brother Sherlock, which, if you've seen the first movie, that was the next logical step. The sequel will chronicle Enola's first official case to find a missing girl, according to the synopsis. And here's what the synopsis reads: Now a detective for hire like her infamous brother, Enola Holmes takes on her first official case to find a missing girl, as the sparks of a dangerous conspiracy ignite a mystery that requires the help of friends and Sherlock himself to unravel. This synopsis was released in conjunction with the first official footage from Enola Holmes 2, which puts the spotlight on Cavill's master sleuth, who will likely have an expanded role in the sequel. It was previously assumed that Enola Holmes 2 would adapt the second book in Springer's series, The Case of the Left-Handed Lady, which involved Enola investigating the disappearance of a young girl, Lady Cecily Alistair. Now, the sequel synopsis basically confirms that the novel will at least act as a blueprint for the film in some way. Enola Holmes 2 is just one of many titles teased in Netflix's new 2022 movie preview. Since the sequel just wrapped filming last month, it will be a while before it hits Netflix. However, it is expected to premiere sometime this year. Conveniently for subscribers, there will be plenty of content to keep them occupied in the meantime, possibly even a similar mystery in Knives Out 2, which also does not yet have a release date. Now let's jump over and actually talk about the idea of Henry Cavill getting more screen time. With this article here coming out a day later, Enola Holmes 2 will be a lot better for Henry Cavill fans. Henry Cavill's Sherlock Holmes features prominently in Netflix's 2022 movie teaser, hinting that Enola Holmes 2 will be a lot better for his fans. Enola Holmes 2 will be a lot better for Henry Cavill fans after Netflix's 2022 movie premieres shed more light on his role in the upcoming sequel. One of the standout performers in 2020's Enola Holmes, Henry Cavill's Sherlock, was surprisingly marginalized in the film, with many audiences querying this choice given the actor's star status and inexorable draw. Enola Holmes 2, however, looks set to right the issue, with Henry Cavill's Sherlock Holmes featuring prominently in early teasers for the sequel. Released on February 3rd, 2022, Netflix's glossy new 2022 movie preview sheds further light on the streaming giant's biggest upcoming releases. Among them is the highly anticipated Enola Holmes 2, which will see the titular Enola Millie Bobby Brown return to the streets of Victorian London as a fledgling detective for hire. Things are set to take a dark turn, however, when Enola's first case uncovers a dangerous conspiracy that requires the help of legendary Sherlock Holmes to unravel. Judging by Netflix's 2022 movie teaser, Enola Holmes 2 will be a lot better for Henry Cavill fans after his character's lack of screen time in the first film. Netflix's 2022 movie preview displays Enola Holmes 2 utilizing Cavill far more gratuitously, showing Sherlock in 2 separate clips and foreshadowing a bigger contribution from the English-born actor. Furthermore, the first movie's ending sets up a greater role for Cavill's Sherlock in Enola Holmes 2, with the world-famous detective becoming Enola's legal guardian at the end of the film. The first look images from Netflix of Enola Holmes 2 feature Henry Cavill's Sherlock extensively. The first shot of the character shows the renowned private detective deep in thought while smoking his iconic pipe. The second is far more illuminating, with Sherlock breaking the third wall. I think they meant to say breaking the fourth wall. Breaking the fourth wall and addressing the audience in an extended scene that also displays Millie Bobby Brown's Enola living under his careful tutelage. What Cavill's role in the Netflix teaser likely betrays, of course, is the actor's increased prominence in the upcoming Enola Holmes 2. From an audience perspective, this decision from director Harry Bradbeer makes perfect sense, with Cavill's Sherlock an instant fan favorite despite his limited screen time in the first movie. There is, however, also the consideration that much of Enola Holmes' marketing in 2020 also featured Cavill's Sherlock, despite the movie ultimately barely using him. But it would be a surprising choice from the sequel to use such a bait-and-switch marketing tactic again, given Sherlock's apparently increasing role in the film's narrative. There's an old saying, folks: "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." So yes, if they attempt it again and people were ultimately fooled twice, it sure as shit ain't gonna work a third time. Furthermore, Enola Holmes' ending sets up a more palatable proposition for a sequel for Henry Cavill fans. Eudora, played by Helena Bonham Carter, leaving her daughter behind and Sherlock becoming her guardian, essentially guarantees a greater involvement from Baker Street's great detective as he takes his young sister under his wing. Enola Holmes 2's official Netflix synopsis via Twitter further cements this approach, with the streaming giant's tweet confirming Enola will require the help of Sherlock himself to solve her first mystery as a private detective. While Netflix's first look images do not tell the whole story, Henry Cavill fans have ample reason to be more optimistic about seeing the Man of Steel star feature more prominently in Enola Holmes 2. And I've actually said this about Enola Holmes. I've said this, in private before I started doing it. I know when I was on the Make It Podtastic podcast, I put the first Enola Holmes on their segment called the Damage Report, as the name implies. And like I said, that was more because of how Enola Holmes handled Mycroft. But if there's one thing that hopefully comes out of the Enola Holmes movies is that we will actually see a Henry Cavill led Sherlock Holmes movie. Hopefully they do, but hopefully they do that along with Paramount bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law to finish up their Sherlock Holmes run, because Sherlock Holmes '09 was a good movie. Game of Shadows not as great as the first one, but still, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here because I know I've been tangenting off for way too long. Again, Enola Holmes 2, hopefully it leads to more Henry Cavill Sherlock, and hopefully it leads to his own standalone movie. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. If you've been following long enough, you know I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I'll just see you guys next time.